After the governor's press release this afternoon, I'm bringing you the latest updates regarding COVID-19 on Guam. Here's what's coming up next and more on TrendSpotting. Hafid everyone, I'm Cami and welcome back to another episode of TrendSpotting. I'm here in my home reporting to you the latest stories that had you talking this week. Guam could have casualties it hasn't seen since World War II, according to the predictive models presented by the Governor's Physicians Advisory Group. Dr. Felix Cabrera said the trajectory Guam is on shows a 20% decrease of the virus spread with the stay-at-home order compared to if we did nothing. The models show a demand of 6,000 hospital beds at a peak in June. It predicts some 3,000 deaths within 5 months. But that could change if the spread is decreased by 50%. At peak, Guam would only have 1,000 hospitalizations, and over 8 months we could just see 700 deaths. To lower the spread, Governor Luliang Guerrero announced she'll be tightening up the current social isolation requirements already set in her Executive Order 2020-05. Details aren't set, but it could include greater control of the roadways by using checkpoints and signage displayed in cars traveling to essential destinations. Also, social gatherings of any type, whether public or private, will be prohibited. The governor said to break the chain of transmission, your social interactions must be limited to those you are currently isolated with. Tighter restrictions could be implemented as early as Tuesday. In the meantime, the public is also urged to use masks when possible and to continue washing their hands and practice social distancing. Here were some of your comments on our Facebook live stream. At Pangolin in Paris said something needs to be done with more punitive consequences to get people to stay home. Many are still out and about by choice. And James Babalta said stop bashing on the governor and start doing your part and follow her directions. She's putting it out there to keep you all safe. And top fan Liz Hisako said GPD, GFD, GMA, and docs and nurses will be overworked, more than they are already if we don't follow social distancing, strict curfew for all, and stronger restrictions. The Navy has started the move of sailors from the virus-infected USS Theodore Roosevelt to Tumon hotels. In a press release briefing at the Pentagon, top Navy officials said they are accelerating both the evacuation of the ship and COVID-19 testing of the service members. Acting Navy Secretary Thomas Maudley said they're moving 2,700 of the more than 4,800 crew members off the ship and into quarantine at base facilities and hotels. Chief of Naval Operations Admiral Michael Gilday had an update. He said people are moving off the ship as we are briefing right now. In terms of the operational schedule, in terms of testing, we continue to be more efficient. Over the past 3 days, we've gone from 300 tests up to 500 tests, and so the long pole in the tent, of course, is getting those test results back as we get those samples to a DoD facility for processing. And Secretary Maudley said so far a little less than 100 sailors have tested positive. Meanwhile, Navy Surgeon General Rear Admiral Bruce Gillingham said they've moved into place new equipment and personnel. In conjunction with Naval Hospital, which is a full-service hospital, as well as 55 members of the 3rd Medical Battalion from Okinawa, we have created a medical task force, he said. And I am happy to report that Naval Hospital Guam, due to a lot of hard work by a lot of people, we were able to accelerate the diagnostic testing at Naval Hospital Guam that is actually live now as I speak. The USS Theodore Roosevelt is now facing the challenge of keeping available one of its most important vessels while it works to protect the health and safety of its crew. Maudley said, I would also like to emphasize that if the ship needs to go, if there's a crisis, the ship can go. That's part of the reason why we're maintaining the skills on the ship that we need if we have to move it in case of an emergency. Here are some of your comments. One Instagram user said, get everyone stable, medical staff on board, supplies, and fuel. Then send the ship to the States. Even though everyone is still feeling hot from this virus, Guam cannot support the amount of cases that this could bring. Another Instagram user said, why the Tumon hotels where there's so much of the local community that could get infected? Why not Leo Palace where there's enough to keep them all in one area and away from the local community? Over on Facebook, one user said we should remember these sailors protect us all in times of danger when needed. It is about time we pay them back for their service to the nation and the people they protect. And another Facebook user said, protect the hotel workers and provide them with proper training as well as equipment to protect themselves, or else. If any one of the sailors turn positive, then the poor workers will bring it home, and there we go. In other news, at Atikow Elementary School, 5th grade teacher Tilly Blas wanted to let each of her 25 students know she was thinking of them and wanted to make sure they were okay. Blas assembled 25 goodie bags filled with homemade cookies, coloring books, and bubbles. With her husband driving, they spent much of the Tuesday delivering the bags to her students while still practicing social distancing. Many of you extended kind comments her way. On Instagram, Ben Alves said, Mrs. Blas, you are truly an educator beyond academics. Thank you for your kindness. At Brent Soltowski said, you are an awesome teacher who cares, and your husband is an awesome man for supporting you by taking you to do a special thing. At Colby_Chang said, awesome, such an underappreciated profession for the amount of responsibility they have. And another Instagram user said, Mrs. Blas, I may not know you, but I truly believe that you have a heart of gold. You have gone beyond your job as an educator, and for that, I salute you. Thank you, and we need more teachers like you in our public schools. You are awesome.